So, what if I told you that a single investment, a massive one, could basically create a new AI capital in India from the ground up? Well, a landmark project has just been announced for the Noida and Greater Noida region, and we're going to break down exactly what this all means.
Okay, let's just start with the headline number, because it is absolutely staggering. A Hyderabad-based company called AM Group has just committed $25 billion to build a brand new high-performance AI infrastructure hub.
Now, to put that into perspective for us here, that's roughly 2 lakh crore rupees. And look, this is way more than just a number on a screen. It's a monumental bet on the future of technology in this one specific region.
And let's be super clear about the scale we're talking about here. This isn't just big. It is, by a massive margin, the single largest investment in AI infrastructure that North India has ever seen.
So what is this project really? And more importantly, how could it actually change things? You know, the jobs, the real estate, and really the future for millions of people living in that Noida-Greater Noida belt. Let's get into it.
Okay, so when you see a number that big, you have to ask, is this for real? Is this credible? Well, a huge clue is where it was announced. The location alone tells you a massive part of the story about just how serious this is.
See, the agreement, the MOU, was signed at the World Economic Forum in Davos. And for anyone who doesn't know, this is not just another conference. It's the global stage where the biggest economic and investment decisions get made.
I mean, just think about who was in the room at Davos. You're talking about the world's most powerful CEOs, top government leaders, and the biggest international investors. When you make a commitment on that stage, it signals serious global backing and a very high chance of it actually happening.
So the bottom line is, signing this deal with the Uttar Pradesh government at Davos elevates it from just another press release to a globally recognized, rock-solid investment commitment.
All right, so who is this company that's making this enormous $25 billion bet? Let's take a look at the players behind this whole deal.
The company is AM Group, a Hyderabad-based energy transition company. But here's the key part. It's backed by the founders of Greenco Group, who are one of India's absolute leaders in renewable energy. That connection right there gives them massive credibility and, of course, deep expertise.
Their whole strategy is actually pretty brilliant. They're leveraging Greenco's massive experience in solar, wind, and hydro to build the digital infrastructure of tomorrow. Specifically, they're going to build AI data centers that are powered by 24/7 carbon-free energy. That's their secret sauce, their unique advantage.
So, with all that money and that vision, what are they actually building? Let's take a look inside this planned AI super hub. The goal here is to deliver 1 gigawatt of high-performance AI infrastructure. Now, to put that into perspective, that is a mind-boggling amount of computing power. It's the kind of power you need for the most demanding AI tasks on the planet, like training huge language models or running incredibly complex scientific simulations.
And this hub? It's being built for a global audience. It's going to house something like 500,000 of the latest AI chipsets. And these will be used by what are called global hyperscalers. You know, think of the big cloud companies like Amazon, Google, Microsoft, as well as top international AI labs. It's also going to be crucial for supporting India's own sovereign AI missions, which are all about building up the country's own independent AI capability.
And listen, this isn't some pie-in-the-sky dream for 2050. The project has a very clear timeline. The first phase is set to be up and running by 2028, and they expect to hit that full 1 gigawatt capacity by 2030. It's happening soon.
So a project this big, what does it actually mean for people on the ground? Let's talk about the thing that matters most to so many of us, jobs.
We're talking about thousands of new jobs, and these aren't just any jobs. These are high-skilled, high-paying roles in data science, AI, and engineering. Plus, you're going to need a ton of people for infrastructure management, and that's not even counting the huge boost to indirect jobs in services and construction.
But you know, the real impact here isn't just about filling a few thousand positions. It's about creating an entire new talent ecosystem. It's about attracting the best and brightest minds in AI and tech to the Noida region. And of course, whenever you get a massive flood of investment and a ton of new high-paying jobs, there's one sector that is always affected. So let's talk about the potential impact on Noida's real estate market.
And that's a fair question, right? How does building a data center actually lead to higher property prices? Well, it sets off a pretty clear and predictable economic chain reaction.
It's a classic ripple effect. First, you get thousands of high-income professionals moving into the area. That immediately shoots up the demand for good quality housing,
both for renting and for buying. When demand goes up and supply stays the same, what happens? Prices and rents naturally rise. And then, finally, that creates a knock-on effect, a new demand for commercial spaces, for logistics to support this whole growing population. It's a classic economic growth cycle.
So, if we pull all of this together, what's the ultimate vision here? What's the big picture? Well, it's about much more than just one project. It's about totally redefining an entire region.
You know, for decades, we've associated certain Indian cities with certain industries, right? Bangalore is the IT hub. Hyderabad is the pharma hub. The big idea here is that by 2030, Noida could join that elite list and become known around the world as India's AI and data infrastructure hub.
This $25 billion investment is a massive, massive vote of confidence. But the huge question remains, can it really transform the Noida-Greater Noida belt into India's answer to Silicon Valley for the age of AI? That is the future this entire project is betting on.